Welcome to the Corporate Compliance Tip, Policies and Procedures Prosecutors Look For in a Well-Designed Compliance Program by the American Institute of Healthcare Compliance. The content in this compliance tip should not be considered as legal or consulting advice. An update was made April 2019 to the U.S. Department of Justice Criminal Division's document for prosecutors related to evaluating corporate compliance programs. Now, the principles of federal prosecution of business organizations in the Justice Manual describe specific factors that prosecutors should consider when conducting an investigation of a corporation, determining whether to bring charges and negotiating plea or other agreements. Today's compliance tip addresses what a well-designed and implemented compliance program, policies, and procedures should include. The government expects healthcare organizations to perform compliance risk assessments. Now, these risk assessment expectations are covered in another compliance tip, which I hope you will look at. Prosecutors expect to find any well-designed compliance program to have policies and procedures which renders both content and effective to ethical norms that address and aim to reduce risks identified by the company as part of its assessment process. Now, the Department of Justice directs prosecutors to assess whether the company has established policies and procedures that incorporate the culture of compliance in its day-to-day operations, and this would be in all departments. Prosecutors are asked to examine whether the company has a code of conduct that sets forth, among other things, the company's commitment to full compliance with relevant federal laws that is accessible and applicable to all company employees. These items must be in writing and in a place where employees can easily obtain the information. So let's review additional elements of your compliance program prosecutors expect to see, such as design, comprehensiveness, accessibility, responsibility, and gatekeepers. Let's start with the design aspect of your program. When the prosecutors are conducting an investigation, be prepared to answer these questions. What's the company's process for designing and implementing new policies and procedures, and has that process changed over time? Who's been involved in the design of policies and procedures? Have departments or business units within your organization been consulted prior to rolling them out? Comprehensiveness is another aspect of the evaluation of the effectiveness of your compliance program. Prosecutors will measure efforts your organization has made to monitor and implement policies and procedures that reflect and deal with the spectrum of risks it faces, including changes to the legal and regulatory landscape. And for healthcare providers, that landscape changes routinely. Accessibility is critical. A review will be conducted regarding how has the company communicated its policies and procedures to all employees and relevant third parties such as trading partners and business associates. If the company has foreign subsidiaries, such as an offshore medical billing company, are there linguistics or other barriers to foreign employees' access? Producing written compliance documents won't suffice when it comes to responsibility for operational integration. How do you answer this question for your organization? Is it the compliance office or human resource director? Do you have documentation to demonstrate how these policies and procedures were presented to employees in a way your employees understand? And what are the internal controls to address how the compliance department enforces policies and procedures? What, if any, guidance and training has been provided to key gatekeepers in the control processes? Do they know what misconduct to look for and know when and how to escalate concerns? This wraps up our short compliance tip related to what prosecutors expect when they ask for your policies and procedures. Please review all the corporate compliance YouTube tips by selecting the corporate compliance playlist. I hope you enjoyed today's program, and call us or go to our website for more information about compliance training.